Hello, my name is Melanie Wilson. My behavior change project was on a student at the school where I work. His name is Noah. He's an 8-year-old boy diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. And the behavior that I was focusing on was screaming, which I hypothesized to be maintained by automatic reinforcement. So I decided to use response interruption and redirection for this behavior, and I did a multiple baseline design across settings. So both of the settings were at school. He's in a one-on-one intensive program, so he works one-on-one with, and we do ABA therapy, or the behavior techs do ABA therapy. And the two settings were one-on-one table work and one-on-one natural environment time. So he started out, we did baseline in both settings to start out with, and once he reached stable responding in the first setting, we introduced intervention in that setting, or I did. So the first setting to reach stable responding was the natural environment, one-on-one natural environment time. And so the behavior tech is working with the student in the natural environment. We still took baseline data and remained in baseline conditions in the table setting. But the natural environment setting, once intervention was introduced, the behavior technicians would, when he screamed, they would say, "That's too loud," and then they would enter into the demands. We used interverbals for this student because it was kind of a strong point for him. Echoics sometimes can cause more other different challenging behaviors for this student, so I used interverbals. Let's see, for IOA, I took IOA data with, I was like the second observer, and the primary observer was the one-on-one behavior tech that was collecting data. And we did that every third session. So during baseline at the table, mean IOA was 97%, and during intervention at the table, IOA was 98%. And then in the baseline phase, mean IOA was 97% for the natural environment. I didn't get to introduce the intervention in the second setting, so I understood that from reading in the book and stuff, that the multiple baseline design, you had to wait for the first setting to reach mastery, and I set mastery at 5 screams or below across 3 days, and I think that I should have just waited for stable responding in the first setting to introduce in the second setting, so I didn't implement that part correctly and didn't get to implement intervention in the second setting, but we are planning on doing that at school soon, and so then we didn't reach the generalization and maintenance phase either. So in the baseline phase, I forgot to mention that the behavior techs just ignored the screaming, and then in the intervention phase, I described that earlier. We used the treatment fidelity checklist I believe we did a total of 5 sessions for that one. It was 38% of the sessions. And the mean treatment fidelity was 98%. So that's kind of just an overview of my project, and thanks for watching.